Hi guys, I'm Tom, and today we're going to look at what a Mind Flayer is. The Mind Flayer, also known as the Shadow Monster or the Brain, is a malevolent entity that resides in the alternate dimension known as the Upside Down. It was introduced as the main villain during the second season of Stranger Things. The Mind Flayer's history before October 1984 is unknown. Exactly how long it has existed, why or how it was created is also uncertain. In November 1983, an interdimensional gate opened in the Hawkins Laboratory, located in the small town of Hawkins, Indiana. This gate allowed the dimension known as the Upside Down to spread into our world. It is not known for certain whether the Mind Flayer was already present in the Upside Down at that time, though we can assume it was, controlling everything unseen. Will Byers, a boy from Hawkins, was captured by the Demogorgon and taken to the public library in this alternate dimension. Although Will was rescued, he began to experience visions of this dark dimension shortly afterward. Will continued to have these visions for a year after being rescued. These visions were analyzed by Dr. Sam Owens at Hawkins Laboratory, who believed Will was experiencing post-traumatic stress disorder. On October 28, 1984, Will and his friends encountered a situation when one of them argued with an employee at the arcade store. Meanwhile, Will was distracted and had another vision. He saw the exterior road in the upside-down version of the arcade and was deeply frightened by a large red storm approaching. Before he left this vision, he heard a terrifying supernatural growl. Later that same night, when he got up to go to the bathroom, he saw the red light illuminating the walls of his house. The front door of his house violently opened, revealing the other dimension with the bright storm approaching. Will walked a little way outside and saw the distinctive dark silhouette of the Mind Flayer in the clouds. On Halloween night, he had another vision while trick-or-treating with his friends. During his visions, he found himself in the alternate version of his neighborhood. At first, Will heard an ominous sound coming from multiple directions, and then he watched in horror as the Mind Flayer began to rise in front of him before starting to chase him. Will hid behind a wall, unaware that the Mind Flayer was very close to him. However, one of his friends found him and pulled him out of the vision before the monster could touch him. Will's next vision occurred shortly afterward at school while they were searching for someone. In this vision, he was once again in the Upside Down, standing in the school hallway. Suddenly, the Mind Flayer's dark mist appeared and began to fill the hallway where Will was standing. After leaving the school and reaching the baseball field, Will stopped and saw the Mind Flayer looming over the school. Remembering something his mother's boyfriend had told him that same day when taking him to school, Will decided to face the monster, yelling at it to go away. However, the Mind Flayer ignored him and ensnared him with its swirling mist. From that point onward, it began to control Will's mind and body. The last appearance of this creature is seen when it reveals its enormous silhouette as Eleven attempts to close the gate between dimensions. The Mind Flayer tries to stop Eleven with one of its misty tendrils to attack her, but she successfully disintegrates it and manages to close the gate between dimensions, sending the creature back to the Upside Down. Later, during the Hawkins Middle School winter dance, the Mind Flayer appears again from the Upside Down, rising over the alternate version of the middle school, showing that it survived the attack when the gate was closed. The Mind Flayer is a gigantic creature, resembling a spider or octopus, approximately 150 meters in height. The precise details of its anatomy are unknown due to the dark mist that surrounds and envelops it. It's also unclear if it's solely made of this fog-like substance or if its body contains solid elements. In any case, the creature appears to have multiple limbs, which branch out into protrusions resembling fingers or hands. These multiple limbs look like tentacles that we can see in the dimension of the Upside Down. It seems to have an elongated head that extends from the middle of its body. Its presence appears to be accompanied by clouds and red lightning, which Will refers to as the storm. Small clouds or pockets of this black mist can move independently, though they remain under the control of the Mind Flayer. One of these small clouds, or pockets of black mist, detached from its main body and entered Will Byers, allowing the Mind Flayer to possess him. Will's friends and family forced the creature to leave Will's body, causing the mist to exit and fly up into the sky. The Mind Flayer's primary weakness seems to be heat and light. Heat causes the creature extreme pain. However, it is capable of healing itself after being exposed to intense heat. It's also noted that the Mind Flayer's branches that descended into town intentionally avoided touching bodies of water, and Will, when possessed, didn't want to enter his bathtub. This might suggest that water could be a type of weakness for the creature. The Mind Flayer can telepathically command its army, consisting of demogorgons and tentacles or roots, instructing them to attack and kill humans, except for its host, Will. This being also shows a high level of intelligence similar to that of humans. as it forced Will to lie to lead soldiers into a trap. The Mind Flayer has 3 fundamental abilities it uses to attack its victims: possession, a collective mind, and control over its own essence. Possession is its most distinctive trait, which it uses to command creatures of the Upside Down and Will buyers. After the feeding area was burned, it sent a group of Demogorgons to address the problem, and also sent these creatures to capture 11 while she opened the dimensional gates. The primary disadvantage of this mental connection is that if the roots are burned, it affects both the Demogorgons and Will. It's highly likely that the Mind Flayer was damaged as well. Will was also able to learn about this being's goals, as well as the tunnels it created and its weaknesses. Despite the range of the collective mind, when 11 closed the interdimensional gate, the connection was broken, and this caused the death of the creatures it controlled. The Mind Flayer also possesses the ability to control by sending a portion of its essence into an affected person. Even though Will was in different dimensions, it was still able to infect him and implant a piece of its essence within him to possess him. This entity can connect the infected with the rest of its army. An example of its power is seen when it made Will send soldiers to their death by having him falsely claim that the creature's weakness was in the feeding area of the tunnels. Possession can be broken if the possessed person is exposed to extreme heat, which burns away the essence and forces it out of the body due to its weakness to heat and light. Lastly, it has the ability of brachinesis. The creature can manipulate its own body, made of shadows or mist, to forcibly attack and possess its victims. The Mind Flayer was able to possess Will through the episode he was experiencing, even though its physical body was in the other dimension, beyond the gate. It also tried to attack 11 with one of its shadows. However, she managed to block the attack from the creature. The kids hypothesize that this creature is a Mind Flayer or a Brain Flayer. This leads to the conclusion that the creature can infect and control other living beings, as we saw with the Demogorgons and Will buyers. They suggest it is likely an ancient being that somehow became lost, emerged from its dimension, and is now seeking all our dimensions, looking for a way back home. Dr. Owens concluded that the alternate dimension is expanding and spreading into our world, infecting everything like a virus. It's revealed that the Mind Flayer is the source of this virus. It's possible that to be initially infected by the creature, one must have been connected with a pod or root, as shown in the first season, though it may also occur from being in the other dimension for an extended period, creating a lasting connection between the person and the dimension of the Upside Down. This creature seems poised to be the series' main antagonist. Matt Duffer, one of the series' creators, mentioned that the Shadow Monster was inspired by classic horror literature from H.P. Lovecraft, as it is an interdimensional being beyond human understanding. Steve Messing, one of the series' concept artists, designed the Mind Flayer based on tornadoes, volcanoes, and natural storms. I find this creature very intriguing, not only in its design, but also as a concept, and I think it adds complexity to this other dimension and to the series overall. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Did you already know about the Mind Flayer? Did you like its design? And finally, what do you think about this creature's concept? Feel free to answer these questions and share any other thoughts about the Mind Flayer. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and share it to support the channel. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of my new videos.